You know what nobody tells you about being good at things? It doesn't make you valuable. It makes you available. And available is just a polite way of saying people can interrupt your life whenever they want. There is a very specific moment when competence becomes a curse. It's the first time you fix something fast, and you don't complain. That's when it happens. That's when you accidentally announce to the world, "Hi, I have no boundaries." From that moment on, you're not really a person anymore. You're a solution with a heartbeat. You can be sitting on the couch, literally doing nothing. Not tired, not hiding, not busy, just existing, which should be a basic human right. But apparently, if you're competent, doing nothing is suspicious behavior. Because someone will walk by, look at you, and their brain does this incredible calculation. Idle human plus skills equals free labor. And suddenly it's, "Can you do this real quick? You're good at this, right?" Since you're not doing anything, always real quick, nobody has ever said, "Hey, can you help me with this long, annoying thing that will completely ruin your afternoon?" No, it's always framed like it's basically nothing, like you'd be rude not to do it. And here's the funny part. These people are not evil. They genuinely think they're asking for a small favor. What they don't realize is that you've heard just one thing about 17 times today. Your 15 minutes of free time gets surgically divided into 5 3-minute tasks. It's honestly impressive, like watching someone Tetris your entire afternoon into obligations you never agreed to. And the worst part isn't even the task. The worst part is that you can never actually relax. You relax on standby mode, like a phone that's off, but still losing battery because 12 apps are running in the background. You're watching a show, but part of your brain isn't watching anything. It's waiting. Waiting for someone to need something. Waiting for the next, "Oh, while you're up." That's when the intrusive thoughts start. Like, what if I just disappeared? Not dramatically. Not forever. Just move to a cabin in Norway. Not because you love nature, but because in Norway, nobody's asking you to connect the TV. That's the level of exhaustion. When fleeing to Scandinavia sounds easier than saying, "I'm busy right now." Because saying no doesn't sound like a boundary. It sounds like betrayal. You're not declining a favor. You're breaking a social contract you didn't know you signed. And apparently that contract says, if you can do something, you must do something. At some point in your life, you were too efficient. You did it fast. You did it right. You didn't complain. And the world learned the wrong lesson. It didn't learn, "Wow, this person is skilled." It learned, "Oh, this person is always on call." So now you can't just exist. You have to be in one of 4 modes: fixing, explaining, solving, mediating. If you're doing none of those things, something must be wrong. And here's the irony. If you were mediocre, people would leave you alone. If you took forever. If you messed things up sometimes. If you needed help yourself. You'd have so much peace. But no, you're competent. So competence becomes your personality. You're not you anymore. You're the one who figures things out. Which sounds like a compliment, until you realize it's actually a job description you never applied for. And nobody does this maliciously. That part matters. People aren't waking up thinking, "Today I'm going to drain this person dry." They're just following the path of least resistance. And you became the path. Over time, this creates a very specific kind of tired, not sleepy tired. Sleep doesn't fix this. Not physical tired. Your body is fine. It's the exhaustion of never being off duty. You start realizing something strange. Real rest isn't lying on the couch. Real rest is being completely unlocatable. Not remembered. Not associated with anything useful. And then the forbidden thought arrives. What if I just pretended I didn't know how to do this? Not out of laziness, out of survival. Because when you say, "I don't know," nobody asks. When you say, "Maybe," nobody insists. But when you say, "Let me handle it," once, it's over. Congratulations. You've been promoted to a position you cannot resign from. Being good at things has a hidden cost. It buys admiration but charges peace. It buys trust but charges silence. It buys usefulness but charges rest. And nobody warned you. And here's what makes it worse. People genuinely think you do all of this because you're just a nice person. It doesn't cross their mind that you might be tired, or off duty, or just wanting to do absolutely nothing. Rest doesn't register as valid for you. Nobody thinks, maybe today he just wants to sit on the couch. Maybe this is his only free moment. Maybe he just wants to scroll his phone without solving a single problem. No, if you're there, you can help. And if you can help, you should help. Rest is only respected when it looks productive. Sleeping? Fine. Traveling? Acceptable. Visibly exhausted? Understandable. But sitting on the couch just because? Unacceptable. Because doing nothing while being capable of doing something looks like wasted potential. Like the world thinks you're too competent to just exist. And that's cruel. Because you're not being lazy. You're just being. You don't want to optimize anything. You don't want to fix a problem. You don't want to be useful. You just want to watch half a movie without guilt. And that's when being, the helpful one, turns into a trap. Nobody sees sacrifice. They see voluntary obligation. Nobody thinks he must be tired. They think he always helps. And that difference changes everything. Because helping is a choice, being available is an imposition. So maybe being good doesn't have to cost your peace. Maybe it only costs your peace when being good becomes the only thing people expect from you. And maybe the real skill isn't doing things well. Maybe it's knowing when to stop doing them at all.